I'm quite excited, guys. Today, it's all about further planning and dreaming about the upstairs A studio that will be way more epic than this little studio right here. And since me planning is really boring, just watching me in front of a computer, 3D drawing stuff and thinking a lot, and Googling a lot for things to buy, I thought, why not share 3 sneaky mixing techniques that I just used on my recent single, Due to You, the one you will hear in the intro. It's all finished, it's all done, will be released very soon. And yeah, those techniques really helped me to get the overall balance right. So that's what's planned for today's video. And please don't forget, just 2 more days on sale, my new sample pack, first link in the description. It's a bunch of gigabytes, plus all of the old sample packs included on discount, just like due to the virus crisis, so everyone has something nice to work with. But anyways, let's get started with the video.
Think of the things that I'll do to you. Things that I'll do to you.
First step, whenever I mix, is definitely just first getting the levels right of every element. Then I check if I have a low cut on every element. Not every element needs one, but me considering a low cut and getting rid of the mud underneath of every kind of track, very important. Then the next step is to check if the reverbs are right, timing, length, and if the effects are right, delays and everything. Then of course, if elements need to be mono, for example, the sub part of a kick, if elements need to be really wide or panned, that's like the first step. I usually personally already do it while making the track. But if you don't, if you just jam along and then start and get to the mixing phase, then first check all of these things. And then it's about like listening a lot to the song, A and B testing and comparing the song, which takes a lot of experience, time, depends on each and every single track you make. It's every time a challenge. But for example, I think I already shared this little trick using tonal balance control. That is by Isotope, a plugin. And let's just hit play. So it basically shows you a graph, that's the frequency response of your song, and shows you the typical average frequency response of a lot of other tracks. You select a style, for example here, EDM, you could choose country, jazz, and they analyzed a bunch of tracks and figured out that they all follow a similar kind of frequency curvature, and it like gives you hints. For example, here on this song, it shows me, for example, that the high mids are a little too much. Like the harshness in them. The high frequency is also a little too much. The low mids, a little too little. The lows, a little too little. So let's first listen to the bit in the song without the EQ that is correcting for what tonal balance control, like what it suggested. Sounds a little more controlled, like it's really a matter of taste, but this can hint you into the right direction. And you have either like the broad view where it shows you like the lows, low mids, high mids and highs, or the fine one where it shows you the entire graph. And I really like it because sometimes you have like ear fatigue, you're working really long and you lose focus. And this is basically A and B comparing your song against a lot of other songs, and you have this graph that shows you what's happening. Then another little sneaky technique is the match EQ. You take a shot, you let it listen to your current song, you pick a reference song, and then hit EQ curve match. So let's do that really quick. Current song. And by the way, I usually use it on the main drop part of a song, and I pick another song to compare it to that is similar, has a similar amount of elements, similar kind of style, similar tempo, best also similar key or the same key, and then learn. I can't play that on YouTube for you because copyright reasons. But let's just learn another song. And it then gives you that graph that shows you, okay, here maybe some dBs missing, maybe boost here a little. It shows you if you have too much low end. You could also, if you want to do like a very quick rough mastering, you could like leave it at like 30% and just leave it on there. Sometimes it sounds better with it. I don't know why, it just shifts everything a little bit around. 100% is usually too much because it then really starts to mess with your song and makes it phase. But this is a really nice technique to steal someone else's song's frequency response, apply it to yours, use it to see where like mistakes might be, or you have elements too loud, too quiet, or gaps in your mix, or maybe just to steal it to a certain amount of percent. By the way, if you don't use Logic, iZotope also offers a Magic Cue, and there are a bunch of other. I'll try to link them down below in the description. And then the last one, it's a little expensive. It's a program called Gulfos. It is something similar. It does match your song against like a certain type of noise that sounds very pleasing, and I can't really explain what it does. Like there are just like 4 things you can change: recovery, tame, bias, brighten, and I usually just put it on there and it sounds better. That's actually something you can leave on. So for example, instead of like you listen to your mix and it sounds dull, so the top end is missing, instead of boosting it with an EQ by maybe 1 or 2 dB, I sometimes use the Gulfos because it does it in an intelligent way. It's like a match EQ, adaptive equalizer to whatever they built. I really don't know what it is, but let's try it out really quick. Again, I don't really know what it does, but you just slap it on and it sounds good. Like a lot of people use sausage fattener and sound good dizer or whatever it is called, which I think are very extreme things, but Gulfos is actually something you put on and it sounds better. So I really like it, but be careful, use it really subtle. If you have to use a lot of it, then usually something in your mix doesn't really work and you should go back to like tweaking fine elements. But yeah, that's basically it. Those are like 3 sneaky techniques to improve your balance in the mix. They help me out a lot. I mean, of course, A and B testing, comparing, listening on other speakers is still a very valid option, but those 3 can like help you to see what actually is going on. And especially as a beginner, that's sometimes easier, especially if you don't have like an acoustically treated room or really good speakers. This might give you hints where to change your mix. So don't forget to like, subscribe. Also don't forget about the sample pack. Just 2 more days on sale, $5 for a bunch of gigabytes. The new sample pack, plus all of the old ones included. This is like a special offer due to the virus crisis, so that you have something to work with for a very fair price. Thanks a lot for watching. Let me know about your sneaky mixing techniques, and we'll see us tomorrow back again here in the studio, working on building the new studio.